Hello and welcome to Industries Helping Hands. We welcome you to the Talk with Industry Expert session, where in this video we are going to have a conversation with an industry expert, Mr. Pushkaraj Salunke, founder and CTO at Revamp Moto. He is a design enthusiast with good visualization skills and experience in product design and rapid prototyping. He is one of the dynamic founders who is full of creativity, innovation, determination, native intelligence and a sense of fearlessness. With all these qualities, he founded Revamp Moto with his team. Revamp Moto manufactures electric two-wheelers for delivery agents, milkmen, vegetable vendors and others. The innovative electric bikes allow small-time vendors as well as e-commerce giants to deliver and sell their products with an affordable budget. The concept of bringing the electric vehicle with utility attachments is one of the first in India. The company came to the limelight in Shark Tank India, where it has raised funds from Anupam Mittal, founder and CEO of People Group, and Aman Gupta, co-founder of boAt. And after that, the company raised another round of funding to create innovative electric vehicles with a mission of motion without pollution. Revamp Moto develops highly reliable, modular and connected electric vehicles based on its modular utility platforms. Their mission is to empower India's hustlers while accelerating the transition to a zero-emission society. The automobile sector is now at the cusp of electric vehicle transition, and the students across India wanted to know how the electric vehicle industry is unlocking job opportunities for them. And in this talk session, we are going to find out the answer of all such questions which comes in the mind of the student. If you want more updates regarding electric vehicles, then you can visit our website industrieshelpinghands.com, and you can also download our mobile application. For more updates, you can join our WhatsApp group and Telegram channel. The link is in the description. Press the subscribe button to never miss any update on YouTube. So let's unlock the knowledge in this talk session.
The instinct to learn. So suppose if I give him a problem statement and he does not know how to solve it, he might learn it and then solve it for me. These types of instincts is what I'm looking for. Other than that, technical knowledge is really not that important because it can be gained. These are the soft skill that cannot be gained. These are the characteristics of the person. So I look for those. First, I would like to talk about the CV or the resume. The thing I'm actually not looking for but takes up a lot of space on your CV is your education. Okay. Uh, People dedicate a lot of space to their education, stating from their 10th, 12th, engineering, 1, 2, 3, 4 year marks and all. That is seriously not that important. It is only a part of the entire hiring process. That is maybe in some cases where we are expecting 1,000, 1,500 resumes, it might act as a filter criteria. But to be honest, that is not what we are looking for. What I'm most interested in is your past projects or experiences and what role you have been following. And I really appreciate the dedication your team has.
Hello and welcome to the Talk with Industry Expert session. And today we are having with us one of the dynamic leaders of the electric vehicle industry. What I can say is he is a creator, he is a learner, he is a thinker, he is a challenger and a risk taker, all combined together, an entrepreneur whose journey is itself amazing. So I'm talking about Mr. Pushkaraj Salunke sir, CTO and founder at Revamp Motors. So we wholeheartedly welcome you, sir, to our platform Industries Helping Hands. Even after the busy schedule, you are giving enough of your time for the students of our country for guiding them about their careers in the EV industry. So thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for the warm welcome. And I really appreciate the dedication your team has joining this early in the morning and getting things done. So, looking forward to a fruitful discussion, both of you.
Sure, sir, absolutely. And in this conversation, along with Pushkaraj sir, we are having Mr. Bhavesh Patil sir, who is an alumnus from IIT Dhanbad, and he is the product head of the electric vehicle courses at Industries Helping Hands. So we welcome you on our platform. So basically, sir, I would like to say to our student community across India who are listening to our conversation, this session is going to be very fruitful for every student because Pushkaraj sir don't need any kind of long introduction. Every Indian knows him, his story at the Shark Tank. So basically, sir, your journey is itself very inspiring, like how you created the product and the product which is so amazing and so creative with lots of innovation in it, with the utility attachments. So itself it creates the problem solving product for most of the Indians. So
Yeah.
your journey is itself inspiring. So most of the students did not have the proper idea. Everyone sees you in the platform of the Shark Tank, sir. Your story is itself inspiring for them. But right now in this talk session, we would like to share your story, sir, so that most of the students would have a better idea how you have created such an amazing product and it will be inspiring for them. So I would like to know your story, sir.
Okay. Uh, so the story actually is very long, but to put it short, Jayesh, Ritesh, and I, we didn't know each other before this. We met because we wanted to do something in electric vehicles about 2.5 years ago, and it was in the first meeting that something clicked, and we knew we are going to do something different with electric vehicles. We did not want to go with mundane, regular old scooters or bikes. We wanted it to be useful and be used as a utility. The biggest problem that we noticed in India is that people are trying to use their vehicle as an asset, but most of them don't have the opportunity or the proper arrangement for doing that. Like you yourself, if you someday go for shopping on a bike, you try to put your baggage, luggage on the vehicle on different position, try to tie it up, try to carry as much as possible, but due to its fundamental design, it is not possible for you to do that. Now extrapolate this problem statement to people who have to do this on a daily basis. For example, Flipkart, Amazon, Swiggy delivery guys, uh, farmers, street hawkers who have to carry tons of good on their vehicle. Now this becomes a big problem because since those vehicles are not designed for that, that directly implies that they are not safe for doing that. And letting this slip has created a notion in people that this is something that is acceptable where it should not be. It is a big risk to safety, it is a big risk to the time and the effort the person is putting into building his business. He can lose everything in moments. So this is where we saw an opportunity, a window where we would like to work in, and we worked hard. We were blessed with a very dedicated team, we were blessed with good timings, and of course the hard work by everyone, which eventually paid off, and you saw the demonstration of products in Shark Tank. So that's a small little journey summed up in few words.
That's
Absolutely,
really
sir.
inspiring, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
And this thing is something really very inspiring because it is solving the problem. As you have mentioned, whenever we go to any shopping mall or anything for that purpose, for the shopping purpose, a lots of bag, every Indian, basically every Indian middle class is having a two-wheeler at their home and they are carrying all these things for them. And especially for the commercial people who are whole purpose, as you have considered that electric vehicle people is considered as an asset, as a source of their income as well, where
Yes.
they have to carry all these things and put their shops on the road. So this product is something that is solving the problem of most of the Indians. So it's really incredible work that you and your team is doing, sir. So
Thank you.
basically, sir, as you have considered that you have worked in the EV segment, and right now it's the cusp in the electric vehicle revolution. Everything is transforming to EV. So, what are your views on about the transformation that is happening in the EV, sir, and what is the future of India regarding that?
uh, See, my views are quite different when it comes to EV because EV is not a segment that has been in market for a long time, and the dynamics that electric vehicle need are very different. Just to give you an example, a normal IC engine runs at somewhere around 2000 RPM, 2500 RPM in a diesel vehicle, whereas in electric vehicle the RPMs can be much lower, which changes the fundamentals of the dynamics. Like you don't get the NVH at that high uh, uh, frequency. You don't put your plastics under that much stress. Also, the vibrations that you are getting are of different amplitudes. So everything from the basic NVH to the dynamic forces that are incurred on the vehicle are a bit different than an IC vehicle. Of course, the theory remains same, but the years of experience that has been put into building IC vehicle is somewhat irrelevant to the electric vehicles. And this is where the young people, the young generation, can make a difference because they haven't learned everything; they are yet to learn everything. And under this criteria, they have much more opportunities, definitely guided by experienced people. I believe that younger people will be able to solve these types of problem under electric mobility more easily. So yes, it is an emerging sector. It needs a lot of human resource. It needs a lot of rebuilding of knowledge. reshaping of knowledge. That's what my view is.
Exactly, sir. I completely understand with this and I completely agree with your point. And the thing that we have observed that, sir, right now, as you have mentioned, electric vehicle industry needs a skilled workforce. So I would like to know that, sir, when we come to the ground reality, we saw that there is a kind of huge difference between the skill students, between the industry and the academia.
Hmm.
So this kind of skill gap is right now creating some kind of problem. So we understand that upskilling is something that is very, very important, as you have mentioned, reshaping of the knowledge. So I would like to know your opinion, sir. What kind of skills that industry is looking and why upskilling is important for the electric vehicles so that the students will understand these things and learn accordingly.
Uh, See, almost all engineers who have understood the curriculum are capable of solving the mundane problems in design. The problem lies when they are addressed with the actual real life problems. Okay, this can be easily understood by taking a like regular old question from a textbook where a rod is subjected to tension or compression, and you are asked to calculate when it will fail. I'm sure that with proper guidance, every single engineer will be able to solve that problem about a rod being put under pressure or tension and failing. But when you ask him that what will happen after 1,000 cycles or what will happen after 10,000 cycles, when it comes to fatigue, when it comes to dynamics, that is where they are facing problem, and these are the real life case scenarios in a vehicle. Same goes for electric vehicle. Okay, you are able to design a circuit or you are able to design a VCU BMS for a vehicle given proper guidance. But the moment someone asks you to calculate the effect of some other radiation by some noise on that circuit diagram, it becomes a little difficult for them to cope with it. This is where the problem lies. See, we have the theoretical, we have the ideal case scenarios by heart. We understand them neatly, but finding the problems, finding the exact reason of those problems is a issue, which we call failure mode analysis. So the skill of analyzing in what modes a design will fail is lacking in engineers today, and the ones who have those skill are the only ones being selected by companies for such type of job roles. So failure mode analysis and understanding why that failure is happening and resolving that is what an engineer needs to learn in today's environment. That is a prime requirement.
Absolutely, sir. And my second question is that, sir, because for any of the startup, hiring is something that plays a very, very vital role. It is something like that which just increases your ROI in compounding when you are having a good skilled workforce. So I
Yes.
would like to know that, sir, when it comes to hiring as a founder of the company, what are the things that you are looking among the freshers so
Hmm.
that it will be beneficial for the organization as well as for the fresher who is joining the company?
Okay. So there is a small saying which says the person who does not know his limit can only break his limit. The ones who know their limit can't break the limits. So I like to keep a mix of experienced people and freshers in a group where experienced people knows the limitations and problems of a process or a fundamental problem, and an experience and a fresher who does not know them. The reason for this is the experienced people track the team's progress, they keep it in line, they keep it focused on a direction. And the freshers, they are always coming up with solutions that may or may not work, but if they work, they will save a lot of cost and time. So I keep a nice mix of freshers and experienced people. When it comes to experienced people, there is of course industry domain expertise, industry knowledge, and things like what areas of problem solving skill they have. When it comes to fresher, good observation skill is the first thing that I look for, because a good observer can solve a lot of problems. Like I have this one intern who observed that one of my bolts is coming off regularly on the vehicle, and he noticed that this might be a problem of low level NVH. Now, observation was the key to finding out that there is something creating that noise. This is how observation skill is first thing that I look for. Second thing is I look for basic understanding of physics, may it be in mechanical, may it be in electronics. Basic understanding of physics gives them an analytical glass. Now basic understanding of physics means that if I apply force in which direction, how it will resolve on the vehicle. in which direction should I check the results of this force. Suppose I'm braking, so I should check the deformation in x-axis, check in z-axis, but it may not be that relevant in y-axis of the vehicle, on the lateral line of the vehicle. So these types of basic understanding of physics are required. And third is the instinct to learn. So suppose if I give him a problem statement and he does not know how to solve it, he might learn it and then solve it for me. These types of instincts is what I'm looking for. Other than that, technical knowledge is really not that important because it can be gained. These are the soft skill that cannot be gained. These are the characteristics of the person. So I look for those.
Exactly, sir. Because skills can be taught, but attitude can't be taught. It's the people's own attitude which makes you to learn and to gain the knowledge in every aspect of the life. So basically, sir, we are having lots of questions of the students where they are confused because just after passing their graduation, it's the time for their jobs. So every student, the first thing they do for getting the job is making their CV. So lots of people and lots of students ask to us, what are the things that the founder of the company is looking when they are having the hiring process and then they are having the n number of resumes on their table. So what are the things in which you are focusing on, sir, for the freshers, for the hiring? What are the things that you are looking in the CV? And as a founder, what are the things that you want that before entering in the industry that a particular candidate should know all this?
So first, I would like to talk about the CV or the resume. The thing I'm actually not looking for, but takes up a lot of space on your CV, is your education. Okay, uh, people dedicate a lot of space to their education, stating from their 10th, 12th, engineering, 1, 2, 3, 4 year marks and all. That is seriously not that important. It is only a part of the entire hiring process. That is maybe in some cases where we are expecting 1000, 1500 resumes, it might act as a filter criteria. But to be honest, that is not what we are looking for. What I'm most interested in is your past projects or experiences and what role you have been following. So, to give you an example, someone might have written that they had a role of sourcing before applying to this job, and that's all they write, that I was acting as a sourcing engineer for ABC company. But if they write that acting as a sourcing engineer, I onboarded 50 vendors and save about 20 lakhs of this company in 1.5 year. Now, this is a quantitative and qualitative representation of what their job exactly was. And that is giving me a better idea of how they can help my company. As a fresher, you might have done some fourth year project, you might have participated in some competitions. Now, simply writing that participated in Robo or in IIT Kharagpur is not what I'm expecting. Okay. Acted as a team lead, worked on the dynamics and electronics of the vehicle, designed the fastest robot of the year, landed 6th or 7th position, first position in IIT Kharagpur in year 2014. Now, this is a qualitative and quantitative description of what they have exactly done. And this is what I'm expecting from students. So, if you give me write up in this sense, it shows that you have considered, you understand what you have done, you are not just a follower in the team, and I have a clear idea of what benefits you're going to give to my company. This is what I'm expecting from a resume. And from an interview, see, first of all, you might have read on LinkedIn that if you have a resume in your hand, someone has a resume in your hand, he has already gone through it, and you don't need to introduce yourself and all. Uh, this things sound nice in theory, but in actuality, we receive somewhere around 500-600 resumes on an average for one job role. And going through every resume is not possible. And certainly remembering everyone who you have never met is also a little difficult. So we might forget. First of all, in an interview, introduce yourself with your skill sets in a very short manner. Suppose you take my interview today, I'll be like, hey, I'm Pushkaraj Salunke. I'm a mechanical engineer, but I have good expertise in electronics also. Most of my jobs circles around finding a good technology and seeing if it is a good fit for my vehicle. That is how I'll introduce myself in short. So now my interviewer knows that, okay, I have to ask him about mechanical, I have to ask him about electronics, and ask him how he can figure out if a technology is good or bad. What are his criteria? So introduction in short is what everyone should be prepared with. That's it.
Exactly. The way you have explained with examples, it's most of the students, it's very crystal clear for them that how they have to introduce, because no one is going to look what are your strength and weakness, because you can definitely learn these things in the industry. What you know right now, what are the skills that you are having is something that is very important. So I would like to know from you, Bhavesh sir, as you're already having the interaction with lots of students. So they have already
Yeah.
sent you some of the questions. So kindly just ask these questions with the Pushkaraj sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before that,
Yeah.
I would just like to take a
Yes.
minute from you guys and tell you something very important. I have right now somewhere
Okay.
around 30 people working in my company. We are soon growing to 45, and only two of our employees or team members are from a tier 1 college, and
Okay.
almost everyone else is from a tier 2 or tier 3 college. The two are, one of them is Pritesh, one of the co-founders, and the other is a very good hire who works in management.
Mhm.
So your college or your degree, where you have graduated from, is not at all relevant to what type of knowledge you have. It is simply
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
function of
Correct.
your understanding of your subjects and your understanding of your capabilities. So your college
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the least relevant thing for a startup. For
Yeah.
established companies, I understand they get thousands of resume every day. It is not easy for them to filter through them. That is why they have it as a filter criteria to choose people from a tier 1 college, which makes sense because tier 1 college can afford good professors. Good professors can give good education. Experienced professors can give quality education, and that eventually helps in churning out good students. But the same
Mhm.
can be brought by having good uh, willpower in tier 2, tier 3 colleges. That's it.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, sir. So actually, this question is related to this point that you have explained right now.
Hmm.
So basically, students want to know that what are the basic technical skills that the fresher graduates of India requires if they are especially from the core branches of engineering,
Yeah.
so that they can be ready for the electric vehicle industry.
Hmm. Okay, I'll talk department wise.
Yeah.
First of
Sure.
all, the soft skills that I mentioned are really important. You need to have those soft skills. Apart from that, there are key soft skills which are called key ones. First is the art of negligence, where you should be able to neglect opinions and thoughts that people have and work on your own project. Second is the art of diligence, where you should be able to delegate work to people. Okay, if you have been assigned certain work ABC and you yourself can't finish it entirely, then you should be able to delegate to people. And the third is art of observation, where you should be able to observe the problem statement and find a solution. Now,
Mhm.
talking about technical skills, if you're a mechanical engineer, must have skills are CAD and CAE. Not every problem can be solved on paper, so having a good understanding of CAD or CAE helps a lot. With CAD,
Mhm.
like just learning a CAD software is not enough. You should understand the like the theory behind tolerancing and dimensioning. By tolerancing, I mean if there are two parts which are being assembled in a assembly, then not every part will be made same. Not every part will be manufactured in a very exact drawing that you have provided. So it has to be tolerated a little. You have to know what amount of tolerance you have in the change in dimensions or shape of the object. Okay, you can never get a perfect circle, so you should know how much you can tolerate in the deviation in the circle and the shape that you're getting. You can't expect a circle and then get a square out of your manufacturing
Yeah.
process. So what level you are going to tolerate it to? That is first thing. You should have
Mhm.
a CAD or CA skill, know what geometric dimensioning and tolerancing is, and have a basic understanding of materials, which I don't see a lot in people. A basic understanding of materials means, okay, now aluminum is soft, so what it can do? It can absorb impacts. It can make things lightweight. It can also be chemically inreactive. So if something is being exposed to environment a lot, you can use aluminum in that case. So having this basic understanding of materials, then you can move to grades. Okay, so 6061 is a space plane grade aluminium, so it is going to give me high strength. It is not available, so 6068 is a good alternative to it. Getting into grades
Okay.
is a different thing. Getting into materials is a different thing. So if someone has a material understanding, he is already a good engineer for me. This is for mechanical. For electronics, you should have a good understanding of MacGyvering. So a problem statement has to be solved with proper automotive grade quality hardware. But now you don't have that hardware in the first go. You should first have a proof of concept. So with a good hardware, hobby grade hardware, you should be able to build that proof of concept, prove your theory, and then go to the actual manufacturing. These are the skills I look for an electronics engineer. Uh, he should be good with able to understanding quirks of an hardware. See, mechanical people will be very familiar with impurities in material, and that's why material behaving not as it is expected to. Electronics engineer are, on the other hand, very familiar with quirks of components and them not behaving linearly. For example, you can't expect the same resistance through a resistor for all voltage and current values. It will deviate a little. It won't be a linear value with current resistance growing or with voltage resistance is growing. It will be a slightly variance in that. So, an engineer who understands that these problems are going to come and singles them out in a design is a good engineer for me in electronics. From computer engineering side, like I'm not an expert, I'm not the one who conducts the interview, but for again, what I look for is a person who's dynamic, who can learn things quickly and then solve them. For example, learning a language is will take time, but understanding a language by looking at it and finding problems in it, that can be done quickly. So a person who can do that is a good engineer for me. So these are the three core branches that we look for. Electrical, again, I don't deal a lot in electrical engineering, but harness design, proper understanding of sizing of wires, proper understanding of routing of wires, how to reduce noise without changing the layout, these are some skills I look for. Other than that, in a hiring process, I have a very different approach. After every interview, if I shortlist the candidate, I give him a problem statement and expect him to revert back to me within 2 days, within 48 hours, and see if that problem statement has been solved with proper care. The level of thought that the person has given to the problem statement directly corresponds to his probability of getting hired. So that's how we sort out engineering, we sort out skills.
Means the way basically they are approaching for that particular problem that you have provided.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Means, sir, the way of approach that they have
Yeah.
revealed in the problem that you have provided for the
Yes, so the
recruitment.
approach to the problem is very important for me because see, everyone has a different approach and we have to accept that. Some approaches work, some don't work. If you guide someone in a proper direction, he might come up with a better solution for your problem statement than coming up with a heavier or costlier solution.
Exactly, sir. These things are something that is really very important. How the student is looking for the problem statement and how they are solving the problem is something very important.
Yes.
So, yeah,
So,
you
sir,
have.
one more question is there from my side. Basically, sir, what are the words that you want to convey to the training and placement cells of the colleges if they want to upskill the students and if they want to prepare a curriculum based on the EV industry, how should they design it so that it is according to the needs of the electric vehicle industry?
Okay. So a small question for both of you: are you engineers?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. We have done our
Yeah, I am from
graduation.
electrical background only, but actually this industry is booming. When means like we have IT revolution earlier, I think this is going to be a revolution in this particular field. So if they want to design curriculum according to this particular industry, how should the approach of the colleges should be?
Uh, I asked this question for a very specific reason because I wanted to ask you a following question. Was your
Yeah,
TNP
yeah, sure.
cell really that passionate about training you and getting you into company? Or was he
No,
passionate
sir.
about getting his numbers filled that I have placed these many
Yeah,
students?
only for the numbers field. No, sir.
Only
Yes.
for the
Not at
numbers,
all
yeah.
passionate.
So that is my problem with the TNP cells today. They are
Mhm.
not looking for quality; they are looking for quantity. And
Yeah.
no matter which college I approach, may it be tier one also, and
Mhm.
like that was very shocking for me. I was expecting much better from them, but from tier
Mhm.
one to tier four, the TNP cell has been programmed to look for numbers, and that is not their fault also. They are expected to churn out number. That is why they are looking for numbers. That is why they are going for numbers. Now, how to build quality from for this? Like we understand the problem now, that they are expected to churn out numbers. That is why they are going behind. How to solve this problem? Okay, electric vehicle is booming today. It may not be booming 4 years down the lane, right? This is a fundamental problem for these people, because they'll put effort into building something today. They'll set up a SOP in next 1 year and 2 years, and then after 2 years they'll again have to go through a rigorous change, because the industry is favoring something else now. So there are few fundamental skills that are everlasting, that are not going to change no matter what the domain or type of education or type of job you're looking for. Okay, so higher education, type of job, these are all dependent on your skill set. Soft skills is something that is never going to change the requirement for soft skills, and it may not seem relevant right now, but having soft skills that will help you grow is a very big thing. Okay, I come from a tier 2 college. I have given almost 13-14 interviews till today. Not a lot, I know, but in in all 14 interviews, I have been selected for almost 10 times, and the only reason I was selected is a soft skill. Okay, the way you approach a problem, the way you present yourself, and the readiness to understand someone else's thought process. This is like you're working in some other company or working with someone else's thought process, how they are approaching the business and industry. So having a soft skill that will help you gel into it is important. So these TNP cells, whoever are listening to this, I request you to go in soft skills more than hard skills. Okay, the collective program, the collective effort of making people learn will build up like core instinct in them, which will help them learn again and again. Apart from this, they can have department level HR activities. Okay, department level HR activities in the sense, now mechanical people, they will need CAD experiences, but CAD again comes in different variety. One of the CAD software is good for shipbuilding. One of the CA software is good for shipbuilding. Other is good for vehicle dynamics. Other is good for study of materials. Now, like, how do you solve this problem? So you have sub level activities also. Okay, give opportunities to them via collaborating or coordinating with other classes or training institutes, and subsidizing the courses for them. For example, someone wants to go for CAD only, CAD only, then subsidize a course for him through college, subsidize a course for CAE for him through college, and then once he learns this thing, this skills, get him to a next level. Conduct mock interviews as much as possible. Ask students to conduct mock interviews as much as possible, because facing the interview is one of the problem. You might be knowing everything, but you might not be able to express yourself. So having gone through mock interviews is one of the things you can do for them, which will enhance their confidence. That's it.
Exactly, sir. Completely understand. And the things that you have mentioned is something that is very, very important. And I completely agree with that as a point. Right now, the training and placement cell are doing their work in just raising the numbers. But what is right now most important? So we have observed such kind of differences here in the academia as well as in the industry. So that's why, sir, the platform like us, Industry Helping Hands, we are trying to bridge that gap. We are skilling the students by providing the actual skills that industry is right now needed. For example, when we are talking about electric vehicles, it's a CAD software that an engineer should know about the vehicle dynamics, how they can perform. It's about the powertrain, it's about the battery management system, it's about the simulation that they perform in MATLAB and Simulink, so that before going to the industry, at least they see the parts of the electric vehicles. Okay, this part will work like that. So proper hands-on experience and training in which we are focusing more so that our students will be that much skilled. And second thing about the thing that you have mentioned, in any of the upcoming revolutions or anything, most of the skills will change. But it is the soft skills that connects human to human, how you communicate, how you express your thoughts, because you're having only 15 to 20 minutes where you can show your personality to the person who is going to recruit you. So these
Yes.
are the things in which we are working, and your inputs that you have provided to us in this particular conversation will definitely help the students also to understand and learn these things. So my last question is that, sir, there is a myth in the student community that a student who belongs to the mechanical engineering or the core branches like electrical, they are getting the job opportunities in the electric vehicle industry. But the students who belong to CS and IT, they thought that, okay, this industry is not meant for us. We are having the good scope in the IT industry. So I would like to know your opinions, because for the recruiter, they are hiring the person who is knowing the skills. They are not distinguishing between the branches. So I would like to know your opinions on the on this myth of the students, sir.
Okay, so let's approach this in a funny way. Okay, suppose you're making curd rice today. Is curd the only thing you're going to buy, or rice the only thing you're going to buy? No, of course, the recipe requires a lot more, right?
Exactly.
Even though the main category or the main components of the recipe is curd and rice, you need buttermilk, you need salt, you need some spices to make it better, to make it stand out, right? So
Exactly.
people from other branches are like those spices. Okay, you might not see them in the picture right now, but they are very necessary in enhancing the experience of the user, or the enhancing the uh, entire functionality, entire capability of the vehicle. If you have a vehicle, electric vehicle, which is parked in your garage, and you can see, okay, how much charge it has left, how many kilometers it can go, how many charging cycles it has left inside it, what is the problem that the electric vehicle might face in 1 or 2 months or 1 or 2 weeks, uh, where is my next charging station, where can I swap my battery, things like this. If you can see that on your mobile app, it is adding a value to your electric vehicle, right? So making an electric vehicle is one part. Making it better is another part. And people from CSIT, these departments are doing exactly this for us. People from CSIT team, they build a mobile application that can show all these things. They make a layer which will handle all these things. Okay, they are making your vehicle smarter. You already have a vehicle, now let's make it smarter. So it is not a problem statement only for mechanical and electronics and electrical guys. This is a problem statement for all the branches. A civil engineer guy can understand how a charging infrastructure can be built in an easier way. Electrical engineering guy can make charging infrastructure, can make vehicle architecture. Electronics guy can make the vehicle electronics, the powertrain. He can also work on the charging. IT guy can handle all this data and present it in a very nice and interactive manner to people. He can also make sure that all this data is being sent to the cloud, sent to the mobile app without any intervention. You get the access of your vehicle. You can control your vehicle at all times. Uh, so, like, the vehicle is not built in one layer or with only one mindset. Uh, it is built with a lot of layers and a lot of complexity, and people who can make this complexity work on background and give you a simple layout in front are the CSIT and other people. Okay, so it is not a, as I said, it is not a problem statement for only mechanical, electrical, electronics. It is a problem statement for everyone to make electric vehicle industry better.
Absolutely, sir.
Yes.
And I believe a leader is the one who knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. So thank you for being the special guest of our session, sir, and guiding the students. It really means a lot. And the way you and your team is working at Revamp Moto with the vision of motion without pollution and solving people's problem is something that is very inspiring for us also, and every student also. So thank you once again, sir, for all your time. On the weekend even you are trying to give enough time to the students, so it means a lot, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
It's my pleasure, and I would like to take last 5 minutes from your time. And this is
Absolutely,
something
sir.
very important. Okay, whatever I have said or whatever I have guided through, or I feel I have guided through in this session, is a function of things I have learned from my colleagues and my team in the last few years. I have been blessed with a very dedicated team. Okay, this is one of the lucky things that can happen in someone's life. But to begin with, I got a very nice team, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank them. And a company as a whole is outcome of what the people are thinking, and the direction of the company is what the founders are thinking. Okay, so we are giving the direction, but actual execution has been done by the team. It is not only the people who need the job, it is also us who needs the team. So be approachable, be presentable, and be understanding is all we founders ask from a person who is going to come for an interview. By this, you're not only allowing us to understand you, you're also allowing us to give you a better opportunity in exploring your skill sets. That's it.
Exactly, sir. The way you are grateful and gratitude towards your team, in the same way we are gratitude and we are very grateful to you. So thank you so much, sir.